Action going to Tree Wing. He has been so impressive, and he has an ace-9 this time. He's from Canada, not a professional player.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of imagination, made some phenomenal calls. So this guy is doing it pretty good here tonight.
250.
Well, he makes it 250,000 to go with his ace-9. Raymond Dolan gets out of the way, and now Andres with an uneventful 6-7, not even suited.
Well, don't count him out with this hand. He is going to lay it down, though, man.
Finally. Now Gavork, though, with an ace-7.
Gavork has just been watching all these other guys play all these pots, raising back and forth, bluffing, doing a lot of things. He's just been trying to catch a big hand, hasn't been able to do it. Finally gets an ace-7 and is going to make a call with it.
All right, so ace-9 versus ace-7. Look at this. Aces and 9s here for Tree.
Well, Gavork checks 2 aces.
Yep.
And he could be getting a little trouble here with this hand. He called with the ace-7 offsuit. He's flopped top pair. Unfortunately for him, his opponent has flopped the top 2 pair.
3.
Just like that, Tree hollers out 300,000. And here's the beauty of making all those moves early. Because when you make so many moves, your opponents just finally don't believe you every time you bet. That may be the case here, and if it is, Gavork could be heading toward Whitewater.
Raise.
Uh-oh.
Gavork says raise. This is not going to be good for him.
This is very dangerous.
He's going to have to hit 2 running cards to win this pot, whether it's 2 cards to make a straight or 2 running 7s.
This is a slow train wreck before our very eyes. Put more chips out there.
I'm all in.
And Tree going back over the top, all in. Now, is there any way you don't call this, Mike?
But in my view, Gavork should recognize just with the sound of his voice there that he's got a hand. He's not on a draw here, meaning you could easily get away from the ace-7.
You have ace king.
Did your hand get caught in the cookie jar?
Oh,
Did you just make a move on me there?
interesting talk.
You have set. You have set.
Let's go into the old Mike Sexton cookie jar line.
Well, Vance, he said he started playing poker after watching the WPT on TV. That proves to me that he does watch us.
The longer you take, the better I feel, so go ahead.
Well, he's right about that.
He's daring. All kinds of table talk. You gotta love this. Dr. Gavork in a quandary.
Look how confident Tree sounds. I think as a player, you should pick up on that. And this would be an easy getaway here with this hand, I believe.
Ace no good.
How big's your ace?
Ace.
I know you have an ace. I'm just asking, like, how big is it?
Yeah.
Look how confident he seems. He doesn't care if he has an ace. That should put the caution light on right there.
I have ace. I call.
Oh, wow. Gavork has made the call, and he is not going to like it. Maybe all that table talk got him a call. But as it is, Gavork in dire straits. Going to have to catch 2 running cards to win this pot, whether it's 7-7 or 2 cards to make a straight.
Tree has him covered.
The Gavork family on the rail. Very frustrated by the whole evening. Dr. Gavork could be out of here. He needs to get real lucky.
Well, if it comes 8-8, they would split the pot. But right now, things looking very dim for Gavork. Well, there's a 7, so it's not over yet. Well, Gavork shaking his head no, but he got lightning there. If he hits 1 more 7, he's going to win this pot. Could it possibly come 7-7 to win this pot?
I eat this paper if he hits a 7. That's all there is to it.
Oh, wow.
No!
Well, a 9 comes off, so one of them made a full house, but the Gavork, it was the wrong one.
That was a pretty good hand, man.
Yes, so did I.
You know I wouldn't steal from you, Chris.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
A lot of chit-chat at the table. And we move on, a quick fold, and now Jesse Sylvia with a nice mid pair of sevens. Blinds are 60, 120. He is going to make it 280 to go. Zach gets out of the way, and now we look at Chris Limo's hand. He's got ace-5.
Well, we haven't seen him get creative pre-flop so far, but he hasn't folded yet. And he's reaching for raising chips.
Gonna try to make a move with the ace-5. He's gonna move it up to 655 to go.
Chris's image is right for this play, but his execution is wrong. He's attacking the biggest stacked player on the table at a moment when Simon is on the brink of elimination, and re-raised the size that Jesse will never fold to. Plus Jesse has a set now, so that's even worse.
680.
Oh dear.
Okay.
He's just got 2 flat tires in that limo.
I didn't like it before, and I like it even less now.
Well, let's see what Jesse's gonna do with this, whether you pop now or just call. What a flop for him. Just calling. Gonna try to trap Mr. Limo.
I like the call there from Jesse. Uh-oh. The 3 gives him some outs to a deuce to make a wheel.
All in.
Call.
Oh, quick call!
Oh no, Vince, this is just a disaster.
I need a deuce or a 6.
Yeah, he's got some outs going to the river, but he should never be in this hand while Simon is so short.
The limo about to fly off a cliff. He needs a miracle. He needs a 2 or a 6.
Deuce 6. One time, baby. Limo time.
Down to the river we go.
That's 5, John. Deuce 6.
River card is a 9. Not gonna work out.
Jesse Sylvia makes a full house on the river.
Second. 275.
Raise it 275 on the gun from John.
John raising under the gun with pocket 9s. He's going on his bigger sizing again. Last time he went bigger sizing, he was also under the gun, so his sizing tell could just be in relation to his position at the table, not only his hands. He had queens when he did it last time, also a strong hand, but he was under the gun.
Who's in the big blind this hand? Sometimes people will
Peter.
vary it based on that. Peter's a short stack.
Which I'd be more inclined to bet smaller against the short stacks.
Exactly.
But I do agree about I do change the biggest factor in my sizings have to do with who's in the big blind, not the hand itself. I don't vary it based on the hand, but I do vary it based on who's going to be defending the big blind. I think this defend here is a little wide, even with the ace from Peter. It was Vince under the gun open, almost a full 3x, and he only started the hand with 10 big blinds.
Yeah.
Now he's down to 7.
He's gonna have to check fold.
He's gonna have
so
to check
often.
fold, just like this flop. He thinks he might even have the best hand here, but it's gonna be impossible for him to continue.
I'm 9 feet away. Just answer the question.
I think he's going to either. I mean, he's gonna any bet he does is gonna be a commit. So he's either just gonna go all in himself or bet half the pot. And
175.
I like that bet a lot without going all in. Bet really small, keep him in with some hands, maybe keep him in with some ace-high hands like he has. I don't think he will, but I like this bet versus just going all in. If he goes all in, he just takes it down all the time and really gets all the hands that he can crush out of it.
10 seconds.
I bet 175, he might get some gut shots to jam it on him.
Yeah, you can't really continue here without at least the ace of clubs in your hand.
You know, if he instead had ace-4 or ace-5...
And to be fair, John hasn't been doing anything too crazy. Yeah, ace-4, ace-5, like Scott's saying, makes sense. The hand you can jam here. And John hasn't been going too crazy today.
10 seconds.
He's using 2 time banks. I mean, I think he's going to end up letting this go. He's up against an under-the-gun raiser.
I mean, I have a feeling he's sitting there just thinking, you know, John's crazy. He's opening king high, queen 6.
That's very light.
Yeah, I don't like that play. I feel like he'd let John get into his head, just, you know, maybe the way John's been playing previous days. I mean, at least the ace of clubs in your hand, you know, helps a little bit. Here, you just have nothing.
Even the 7 of clubs would help.
Got a little bit of a sweat here. Turn card.
A 4 or an ace, or Peter's going to be our 6th place finisher.
Game, Peter. That said, could definitely understand it's probably frustrating for him as the short stack, especially with John and Brian opening so much that you'd get pretty tempted there.
And Sorrell nursing an even shorter stack at this point, lays down his hand. Jonathan Duhamel unlikely to do the same with pocket queens.
You tend to see players play tighter pre-flop in these types of situations, meaning that when there are players with between 10 and 20 big blinds, other players will open a little bit less wide, expecting to get some all-ins.
Duhamel's made it 5,500 to go.
Oh, those are hundreds.
McDonald is called with ace-9 of hearts.
And I was like 2 of 4 and pressed all up.
I call. Greg Whaley is called with king-10 offsuit, and they'll take the flop 3-way. Burn down, 3 off the top of the deck, and the flop. 10, tray, 6, all hearts. McDonald with the nuts.
Yeah, this is a good flop for all players. John has an overpair, Greg Whaley has a top pair, and obviously Mike McDonald flopping the nut flush has an absolute stranglehold on the hand.
Greg checks to Jonathan, and Jonathan understandably fires 12,500 into the pot. Action is on Mike now.
I'm all in.
1 second. Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
I didn't see his cards.
Greg Whaley just moved all in when it wasn't his turn.
Oh man, what are you thinking if you're Mike McDonald?
This is unbelievable. I mean, you see sometimes players, you know, acting out of turn, making these mistakes, but rarely do you see it when the player in front of them is sitting on the nuts.
Do I need to, do I have to stop? What do I have to do?
The tournament director is coming over to make a ruling.
Yeah, so if you don't change, if you call or fold, the action's going to stay. If you decide to raise, then you can reconsider.
If he calls,
I'm sorry, I didn't see
The action
that
doesn't
cards.
change. So if he calls or folds, it's all in. If he decides to raise that bet, then you can reconsider.
So the tournament director, Brian Goodham, has made a ruling. His ruling is that if Mike either calls or folds, then Greg's all-in stands. But if Mike decides to raise, then Greg has an opportunity to reconsider. Now, from Mike's point of view, when he's sitting on the nuts, he really only has one option, and that is to call, ensuring that Greg will be all in.
I don't do this very often.
What about being extra deceptive, putting in the raise to make it seem like maybe you don't want your man to move all in behind you? Because certainly if you just call like Mike is doing here, Jonathan Duhamel is going to have alarm bells going off in his head.
If I'm Jonathan Duhamel, I'm not even thinking about the situation. I'm instantly folding my hand.
You're all in.
When Mike calls, he knows that he has to call 95,000 more all in from Greg, so Mike's only going to call here with an absolutely monster hand. And Greg is going to be drawing incredibly thin for his tournament life.
That was a bad mistake, I think. Yeah.
That was a bad mistake by
I didn't
Greg.
even know you were there.
Truth be told, if Mike wasn't in the hand, Greg probably would have been called by John and would still be in bad shape, but it's tough to be in worse shape than up against the nut flush here.
Mike's been mean to me all day. Let's turn at 6.
I've been running so good.
Well, we'll see whether or not Greg Whaley will be drawing live as of the turn.
The only way he can win is to hit running cards for a full house. He needs a 10, 3, 6, or king to have a chance.
Oh, there's a 6.
Fighting chance for Greg. He needs a 10 or a 6.
And the 8 won't cut it.
Good game, hey. Really good playing with you.